Meet Kelechi Nwakali, the Nigerian wonder kid who lit up the 2015 FIFA Under-17 World Cup, outshining future stars like Victor Osimhen and Samuel Chukwueze. He was touted as the next big thing. He signed with Arsenal and he dreamed of Premier League glory. But today, at 27 years old, he's fighting to save his career at Barnsley, a League One club that reportedly is just not that into him. What happened to this Golden Ball winner? Nwakali's story is one of a prodigy's rise, his struggles, and the challenges that have defined his journey. Kelechi Nwakali was born on June the 5th, 1998, in Nigeria, where football is much more than just a game. It is a religion, it is a way of life. He honed his skills at the Diamond Football Academy, breeding ground for Nigerian talent. By 17, he was a standout midfielder, known for his vision, his passing, and his flair, most especially his passing. In 2015, he led Nigeria's Golden Eaglets to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup title in Chile. Nwakali was the heartbeat of the team, captaining them to a 2-0 victory in the final, and his performances earned him the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player, ahead of teammates like Victor Osimhen, who we all know today as a global superstar. Scouts from Europe's biggest club took notice of Nwakali after his performance at the Under-17 World Cup. Arsenal, Man City, and others came calling. And in 2016, at 18 years old, Nwakali signed for Arsenal. A dream move for a kid from Nigeria. The future looked bright, and it was just the beginning of a fine career that was to come. Or at least that's what we all thought and expected. High hopes, limited opportunities. Arriving at Arsenal in 2016, Nwakali was seen as a gem for the future. But the English Premier League is a different beast, as we all know. Under Arsene Wenger, Arsenal was stacked with talent, and breaking into the first team was a tall order for even the best of talents. Kelechi Nwakali never made a competitive senior appearance. He spent most of his time in the youth setup or out on loan. His first loan was to MVV Maastricht in the Dutch Eredivisie. That's the second division in the Netherlands. He joined them for the 2016-2017 season. In 2017, he joined VVV Venlo in the Eredivisie, the first division, scoring a dramatic stoppage time equalizer on his debut against FC Groningen. But again, regular starts were just hard to come by. These loans that were meant to develop him instead highlighted a harsh reality. Kelechi Nwakali was a big fish in a small pond at under-17 level, but in Europe, he was just another prospect fighting for a chance, like many young players have to. By 2019, with no clear path for Kelechi to Arsenal's first team, he left the club. He expressed his gratitude to Arsenal, but he admitted that the move away came a little bit too early. Some analysts argue that he might have thrived at a smaller club like Victor Osimhen did, starting from Wolfsburg. Things didn't go well, but he played his way up to the star that he is today. Samuel Chukwueze started at Villarreal and he played his way up to become a better player and move to a bigger team. But instead, Kelechi's Arsenal dream became a lesson in managing expectations. Because you are a star at youth level does not necessarily mean that you are going to be a star at the first team level. In September of 2019, Nwakali signed a 3-year deal with SD Huesca in Spain's Segunda Division, hoping to restart his career. His first season showed flashes of potential, and Huesca earned promotion to La Liga in 2020. But Nwakali's role was minimal when they went to the top division. Just one start and a handful of substitute appearances. In La Liga, he only managed 5 matches, often stuck on the bench with no chance to come on and make an impact. A bright spot, however, came in 2021 when he was loaned to AD Alcorcon in the Segunda Division. Back in the second division, Nwakali thrived. He started all 16 games that he was available for, and he scored 4 goals for the team. Playing in a deep lying playmaker role, his dribbling, his tackling, and his chance creation reminded fans of his under-17 brilliance, and people really believed that talent, that player was still in there. Reported interest from clubs like Leeds United, Watford, and Levante followed, but his return to Huesca marked the start of a nightmare. In December 2021, Kelechi Nwakali was called up for Nigeria's Africa Cup of Nations squad. And what followed were claims that Huesca sporting director Ruben Garcia pressured him to skip the tournament in order to stay available for his club. Nwakali, of course, refused, prioritized his country, but what followed was a series of alleged injustices, delayed wage payments, pressure to sign a new deal, and a ban from training when he resisted. Huesca also tried to force him to a different club that he didn't want, but Nwakali rejected. In April 2022, 6 months before his contract was supposed to end, Huesca terminated his deal, citing disciplinary issues. Kelechi Nwakali took to his social media and released a statement, exposing what he referred to as inhumane treatment. The Spanish Players Union also stepped in to try to rectify the situation, but unfortunately, the damage was already done. Kelechi's Huesca chapter ended in bitterness, leaving him without a club in 2022. After Huesca, Nwakali's career had hit a low. However, in 2022, he made a move and signed with Ponferradina, once again in Spain's second tier, where he got consistent playing time and managed to somewhat settle down and reignite his career after the Huesca drama. After one season there, in 2023, he joined Portuguese side GD Chaves, but his stint at Chaves was one with minimal impact, despite playing 33 games for them. By the end of the 2023-2024 season, Kelechi Nwakali was a free agent again, with his career seemingly in limbo at just 25 years old. Despite setbacks, Nwakali's obvious talent kept him in the conversation. His performances at Alcorcon showed people that he can still compete and play at a good enough level. And his international career offered some hope, with people out there still believing that maybe, just maybe, he could be a potential solution to the Super Eagles midfield problem. Of course, he was part of Nigeria's squad at the AFCON 2021, and that was a proud moment for him and a big step in his career. But inconsistency in performance, as well as off-field issues, continue to keep Kelechi Nwakali from fulfilling his potential. Analysts again began comparing Nwakali's path to other under-17 stars. While Victor Osimhen and Chukwueze had found stability, Nwakali's choices, joining Arsenal, moving to Huesca, placed him in high-pressure environments where he struggled to shine for one reason or the other. Some people argued that he just needed a club where he could actually be the star rather than being a squad player, while some on the other side argued that Kelechi Nwakali was the cause of his own problems. Where do you stand? In August 2024, Kelechi Nwakali signed with Barnsley in English League One. A chance to rebuild in a competitive third tier. Fans hoped that the 26-year-old could rediscover his form. And despite taking some time to get his match fitness, he did well when he was called upon. In the 24-25 season, Kelechi played 26 times for Barnsley, and he was even named as the club's player of the month on one occasion. Things seemed to be looking up for Kelechi, but unfortunately, once again, trouble brewed. The season ended and a new season was to start. Reports then emerged that Kelechi Nwakali returned late from his post-season holiday in Nigeria, delaying his preseason training. This was said to be allowed by the club due to a family emergency that he had to attend to. However, Barnsley's head coach excluded him from preseason fixtures as well as early League One matchday squads. To make matters a bit worse, Kelechi Nwakali had a prior suspension at Barnsley for punching an opponent during an under-21 game. Of course, he had served the punishment already before this incident. But that incident only adds to his disciplinary record and the negative image of him that a lot of people seem to have. By August 2025, the head coach had told Kelechi Nwakali that he was free to leave Barnsley before the close of the summer transfer window, signaling the end of his Barnsley tenure. A lot of people started to draw parallels to disciplinary issues in the past, talking about his Huesca exit, even though that was not his fault. But a lot of people already believe that Kelechi is a problem and the problem with himself. There were reports from Nigeria that he had been sacked by his club. Of course, these reports turned out to be false, due to the club not being able to offer him the game time that he wants. The club had said that he was free to leave. For Kelechi, the Barnsley saga is a stark reminder of past mistakes, raising questions about his professionalism and his ability to adapt. As quoted from legit.ng, Nwakali's career is gradually being defined by disciplinary issues. This is not the perception that any professional footballer wants to have. So what went wrong for Kelechi Nwakali? Talent was never the issue. His under-17 performances, his Alcorcon loan, and even his first season at Barnsley proved that he has the skills to compete. But a series of factors have just held him back. Was it his club choices? Joining a big team like Arsenal? Joining a team that wants him to put them before his country like Huesca? Should he have joined a smaller team where he could have stood out more? Of course, hindsight is 2020. Who would have known at the time? A lot of people, if not everybody, celebrated him at the time when he joined Arsenal. Second, disciplinary issues have been a recurring thing. From Huesca's AFCON pressure to Barnsley's late return, Nwakali's off-field decisions seem to have cost him, whether or not we think he was making the right decision at the time. Some people argue that he has been unlucky, facing unfair treatment at Huesca. Other people say he needs to take accountability for his professionalism. Finally, the mental toll of constant setbacks, from loans to benchings to mistreatment to suspensions to contract disputes, these things might have come together to dent his confidence. At 27, Nwakali still has time to turn things around. I think so. Lower tier leagues like England's League One or League Two, or maybe a return to Belgium or to Holland, could be where he rediscovers his spark. Or maybe he needs to go to Eastern Europe and play with no pressure, no big audience, no expectations. Maybe that can help him to become and show us that he's still the player that we know that is inside of him. Kelechi Nwakali's story is one of immense talent, yet unrealized potential, and also resilience in the face of adversity. From under-17 World Cup hero to a career on the ropes, his journey reflects the harsh realities of professional football. Professional football is not easy. But at 27, I dare say that his story is not over yet. With the right club and with the right mindset, Nwakali could still write a comeback chapter. But he needs to put his head down and he needs to lock in and lock in quickly. What do you think? Can Kelechi Nwakali revive his career? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and of course, subscribe for more stories on Nigerian football. My name is Ayoti. This is EaglesTracker, the home of Nigerian football, and I will see you in the next video.